My name is Jeff Baldwin. I'm the head instructor at Rebellion Martial Arts Academy. We'll be teaching our first defensive knife class this weekend. This is a class focused on using a knife for self-defense. We will be covering all of the legal issues and whatnot that are associated with that, but today I'd like to kind of take a look at some different carry blades that I own and discuss some of the things that you need to be looking for when thinking about a blade for carry. Depending on the knife that you pick, right, it has a different, some of them have a different blade type. Like this Spyderco here is a Wharncliffe style blade, okay? So it's very specific. This is a Wharncliffe style blade. It's okay for stabbing, very durable, thick blade, so it's great for stabbing, very good for slashing. Okay. The handle design is such that it facilitates different grips and stuff like that. Conversely, we have this Spyderco Matriarch. Okay, and you can see the blade is more what they call a hawkbill blade, and it's also serrated. It has a pocket opening feature on it, so that'll help you open the knife with your pocket without having to actually actuate it with your thumb. Okay. Here we have a karambit style blade with the control and retention ring that is typically used in this fashion here. Here we have a Benchmade. This has an assisted opening feature, which means it's spring assisted. So it's specific that it doesn't have, there's no push button to release it. You have to actuate it with your thumb, and then after you get to a certain point, a spring takes over and opens it the rest of the way. So it's assisted opening in that I have to start it with my thumb, and then a spring takes over at some point. Okay. And that has a typical straight kind of drop point blade to it. Okay. Here's another karambit. This is Spyderco's version of that Emerson karambit. It's also got the Emerson patented wave feature on it to allow it to open on your pocket by snagging it on your clothing. Okay. This is the Columbia River Knife and Tool James Williams Otanashi no Ken. Right. Very long, slender Japanese sword type blade. Very good for any type of thrusting, but really good for slashing as well. And you can see that blade type there. This is the Cold Steel AK-47. They've got their version of a pocket opening feature on here as well that you can snag on your clothing to pull it open. Okay, and again, it's got kind of a bigger, wider drop point blade to it. Here's the Cold Steel XL Voyager. Right, you can see this is a very large knife, and depending on the laws in your area, could totally be illegal. Specifically, if you go anywhere in California, most areas don't have any restriction on blade length as long as it folds. Whereas if you go to Colorado or something like that, 3.5 inches is the maximum for a carry blade. So this is illegal folder in Colorado, whereas this is about 3.5 inches, so that one's legal. This is illegal in Colorado, but legal here in San Diego. Here's a Columbia River Knife and Tool M16 folder. Okay, they have the thumb feature here also, but it also has this wing right here that you can use your finger or thumb to actuate that. This has a Tanto style blade, very good for thrusting, but also very good for slashing as well. Okay. This is the Spyderco Civilian, very much like the Matriarch. As a matter of fact, the Matriarch, the design from the blade came from the Spyderco Civilian. You see, the Civilian is much bigger, but it also doesn't have the Emerson wave feature on it, whereas the Spyderco Matriarch does. This is the this is called the Dart. Okay, it has an Emerson wave feature on it. This is kind of like a karambit in that it has the retention control ring on the back. The blade is different. It's got a Tanto blade, and also it's straight. So you typically will use it like this. And then the final blade here is another Spyderco straight blade, okay, with an Emerson wave feature. Okay, this is an Endura 2. Okay, Spyderco wave, the Emerson wave feature. Spyderco actually licenses it from Emerson, and they list the patent number right on the side of the blade there. Okay, and so again, this is another drop point type blade. So you can see with the variety of different blades here, like this, your Spyderco Civilian with the Hawkbill blade, your Otonashi no Ken with your sword type blade, the karambits, right? Some of them are geared towards a certain type of use rather than others, okay? And so knowing what you're carrying and how to use it properly is really, really important. Just grabbing some knife because your buddy says that that's the knife you should get may not fit your needs. Excuse me. So some people say a karambit is the best self-defense weapon, and I think it is a very good self-defense tool, but it's very limited in the scope of its use and the stuff that it can be used to do. It's not a very good stabbing weapon. It's designed to pull out of your pocket and be used in a reverse grip fashion, so it's not good for a saber grip. Even though I can use it in this manner, it's not going to be used that way in a very quick fashion. Okay, so the more versatile blades are typically going to be the straight blades. So understanding how your knife operates, what's better for the carry feature, and also understanding the laws in your area. They're all things that you should think about when you're doing or carrying a knife for self-defense. What are you going to use it for? How are you going to use it? How does it need to be used? You know, can I take this Spyderco Civilian and thrust with it? Yes, but it's difficult. It would be more punching out this direction to get that blade in versus something straight where I can thrust here or thrust here. It's a much straighter contact, easier to maneuver in that way. I turn it around to a reverse grip. It really facilitates that ice pick type movement, whereas the Civilian in a reverse grip, it doesn't facilitate that stabbing motion, right? That ice pick motion, because the blade hooks out at the end. All right. So understanding what you're carrying and how to use it specifically is extremely important when working with a defensive knife for an everyday carry situation. Okay. So I hope to see you this weekend. Thanks a lot.